Hi, I'm Aaliyah.
I'm Jonna,
Hi, I'm Celine.
And
and
welcome
welcome
to
to
Lit
Lit
and
and
Loud.
Loud
Hi.
with a guest.
With a guest. Surprise. Guys, okay. So today's guest needs almost no introduction if you spent any time in the queer, bookish corners of the internet. Celine Ong is an author, content creator, and certified AO3 menace and professional yapper whose entire brand seems to be asking, what if I made everyone have feelings but also laugh really hard? Raised in Singapore and raised again in mosh pits and fueled almost exclusively by hyperfixation, Celine has built a community by being delightfully unhinged in the most charming way possible. Whether they're talking books, fandom, wrestling, or reminding us that fan fiction is a legitimate personality trait, they're always bringing the vibes. And now, officially, a debut author with Hold Me Like a Grudge, a queer rivals to lovers romance that throws two professional wrestlers into the ring, adds forbidden romance, enough yearning to qualify as cardio, and proves that the only thing more dangerous than a steel chair is catching feelings. So, grab your kudos, update your AO3 bookmarks, and prepare to get emotionally body slam divas. Please give the warmest welcome to Celine Ong. Yay! Oh my god. I don't have my gimmick.
Oh my gosh, that was so cute. Thank you.
Thank you. We have all sorts of party gimmicks. Sorry.
Yes.
Oh my god. Love.
Welcome.
Be your own sound effect. Be the sound effect you want to be in the world.
Yes.
Oh, welcome, Celine.
Thank you for
Thank you
having
so
me.
much for being here.
I know.
I'm so excited.
This is our dream.
This is, when I saw this arc on NetGalley, I was like, a book written for me specifically. I could not believe that this book was burst into existence and came across my feed. And the second I started reading it, I texted Aaliyah and I was like, we have to get them on the pod because I have so much to talk about.
Do you watch wrestling?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yes, so
Yes.
Jonna is our in-house. She brought me to my first AEW game. Homegirl has introduced me into the whole
Game.
world. She yeah, into the whole game. Yes, exactly. I am obviously the pro, but no, she is our official podcast historian, with wrestling
I have my
historian.
wrestling is gay shirt on. I'm
Oh my
deeply
gosh.
locked in.
Love. Love. I'm coming to steal that shit. So good.
It came from the Effie's Big Gay Brunch that he hosted in Gainesville, Florida. I bought it online after that because I was like, I need that shirt with the alligators, with the whole thing. I was like, that's a shirt for me.
It's so good. Oh, you gotta send me the link.
Oh, I'll see if I can find it. I've had it for a couple of years, but
Love.
it's incredible.
It's a goodie. All right. So typically, Celine, we open with what we're reading, watching, and obsessed with. So what do you have for us?
Okay, what am I reading? I am reading Interview with the Vampire with some of my friends.
Yes.
I mean, I'm kind of brain rotting over the show and everything, so
Yeah.
Yeah, us too.
Same. Deeply.
what am I watching? On a similar vampiric line, I don't know whether you guys watch Dimension 20 or like Dropout,
No.
but no, oh, you should. It's so good.
Sounds good.
I'm watching the newest season of Dimension 20. So it's called City Council of Darkness. It's about like vampires. They're like all of them play vampires, and like they're basically like booted out of San Francisco, and they have to like establish dominion in like a small little town in the middle of like bumfuck nowhere. It's so good, but it's a lot about like building community and like voting and stuff. But it's so unhinged.
Period.
I think you guys should really like it. Yeah.
that's very up our alley.
Yeah, we're like, we're gonna be on a vampire moment for a minute. We're like building our fall TBR, and it's all just like spooky shit,
It's all
vampires,
gay
yearning.
vampires, sapphic
It's gay
vampires.
And what am I obsessed with? What am I
Yes.
not obsessed with?
Really real.
I mhm. Just so many hyperfixations. I'm kind of like still sports mixing at the moment. Like we're coming
Mm.
off the Hungary Grand Prix, so
Hmm.
I'm obsessed with that. Mostly because like my driver did really well. One of my drivers did really well, and the other one did really bad. So you win some, you lose
Balance.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also like with like the World Cup just ending, I'm still not sure whether you guys are like on like that train, but like I was in Oslo during like Norway versus
Hmm.
Brazil, and that just got me
Oh.
like so obsessed with it because the vibes were insane. It was so good, and I kind of love how like even between teams, it's like there's so much sportsmanship this year. I just thought it was really cute, so I kind of want them to kiss, but that's not the point.
For
It's
you,
always
it
the
is.
point.
Yeah, for me, I'm like, so when did they kiss? Hello?
When's this gonna happen? That's how I feel about
Yeah.
sports too.
Yeah. Now kiss.
Oh, well, thank you for bringing that. Those were all goodies. What a treat. We always love having our authors and our other interviewees like bring this because we do this weekly whenever we talk, and it's Jonna and I catching up. We're long distance best friends. This is what we're doing to stay connected, and I love like writing down all the books. We just interviewed someone, and my TBR was open the whole time. Like it was incredible. So thank you for
So many
bringing that.
recommendations. Yes.
Yes.
And I will dive into my first question. It's deeply obvious that you, just like Aaliyah and I, are at your core a fangirl. Aaliyah and I talk all the time about how incredible of a time it is in the world to be a fan, not only for content, but community. And I think that your acknowledgments in the book are such an ode to this. So, whether it's in the bookish space, wrestling, music, or queer spaces, how has leaning into fandom created community for you?
Oh, I love this question. I think it's so interesting, right? Because when you're a kid, like a lot of times, our parents are like, don't talk to strangers online. Like it's dangerous, and that is true. That is true. That disclaimer that is true. You gotta be careful online. But it's also just that like I grew up in a space where not a lot of like my friends in real life shared my obsessions because I mean it's kind of a little bit more of like I would say things are changing now, but like I wouldn't sound so old when I say this, but like back in the day, like things like things like wrestling and like even things like emo music and things like that, they were in a way like more Western stuff. Like you think
Hmm.
of things like MTV, we a lot of us here when I would like back in like the 90s, we didn't know what MTV was. But like I was raised on things like MTV, Disney Channel, things like that. And
Hmm.
also, like wrestling and fandom. And after a while, I felt like it got a bit lonely because you obsess over these things and you feel like you don't have an outlet to share how insane you feel. And you're just like bottling it up. And over time, you're like,
Right.
maybe I'm just obsessive over things and I should not be obsessive over things. Right. But
Hmm.
when I found fandom, and a lot of it is because I live in Singapore. So like a lot of like it's such a small country
Hmm.
that I had to sort of look for community elsewhere as well. And I found a lot of that community like through fandom spaces because that's where I was like, oh, there are tons of people like me that
Right.
also wonder why they're obsessive over things. And in a way, a lot of us feel bad about it, about like when we're together, we sort of, I don't really know how to explain it. It's like, it makes you feel like you're just a part of something bigger than you are. It's the same as like, being in the queer community. It's like you grew up feeling alone and then you find your people, and you're like, oh no, it's been normal the whole time, and it's something to be celebrated and cherished and things like that. So I think there are a lot of parallels there, like a lot of these things, like finding fandom, finding community, coming into like my queerness. Like a lot of it happened simultaneously, and I think it's just because when like fandom is done right, it gives you the space to grow as a human being and grow into the person you want to be. Yeah, so I've really lost track of the question. But
No, you're right
No,
there.
that's so great. That's so good. Yeah. It's exactly that. It's like, kind of taking off those layers of shame that are built into something like obsessing over a TV show. And like, Jonna and I talk to each other about this show. I can't every second of the day. If it's not something we're sending back to each other, if it's on a meme, like on 18 different platforms, and just to know I can have, that outlet and not subjugate my poor husband to it, like that's enough. Like that community. But this is my friend, and that wide scale is just so huge. Like you said, it's bigger than ourselves, than just who we are. Yeah.
And
yeah,
it's also,
I love it.
although you're finding community, you can like differentiate yourself via what pop culture you're into or finding, because I was very into emo music. I was a Warped Tour kid, that whole thing. And it was like, that was something that was so special to me over the summer. I'd go every year, and then I'd get back to school in the fall, and like, no one was listening to the music I was, and no one was doing that. So it was just such an incredible way to like not only find community, but also like develop your sense of self through hyperfixation after hyperfixation, if I'm being honest.
Right.
Exactly. I love that. I feel like it can be seen as something that is childish or whatever, but I love that, like, I think when you go at it with like a more healthy mindset, it's actually really great and can lead to so much growth in a way. Yeah. And I also love that, like, now I get to sort of build my own community around it and like be a safe space for other people the same way other people were to me. Yeah.
Heck yeah. I love that.
I love that so much too.
That's going to be us this whole time. Okay. So wrestling is and always has been, it's been gay, let's be real. And I think we're in the middle of a renaissance where queerness is more out there in the wrestling space. Why being queer is such a taboo topic in the fandom or even in sports in general.
Oof.
That's
I think it's y'all came with really good questions. I love that. I think a lot of it, I think so much of it comes down to like toxic masculinity and like needing to sort of be like, I'm this macho person and I'm, just I am expected to perform a particular way. And I think it's very like, I don't think circular is the right word, but it's just like, it's sort of like a negative like reinforcement, because whenever you don't act in a way that you're supposed to, there can be voices online. Like Twitter can be like a pretty harsh place sometimes when you encounter something that like it's not the norm and people sort of get on your shit and like, why are you acting this way? That's gay or something like that. And it always gets painted in such a negative light. Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of expectations on how people are expected to present themselves and behave. And be it like in a wrestling ring, or even take things like Formula One. How many times have there been instances where like drivers like pull their visor down because they don't want people to see them crying? And it's after regular things, winning a championship, getting a podium, or like your car crashes. These are things that the average human being will cry over, right? And like, it's like they don't want to show it because it can be seen as weakness in a way. And I'm like, no, let the world see you cry. it
Right.
it's completely fine. And like I oh god, I don't want to. I see part of me is like I don't want to be talking about this because I'm like talking about like billionaire and apple babies. Like,
Like, don't feel too bad, but
Right.
like
but no,
Don't
it's like
defend
the being
them, but-
vulnerable. It's being
Yeah.
vulnerable in those spaces, no matter what you're doing, no matter what the sport is. Like there's and being out and queer again, it's being super vulnerable, and that's seen as weakness, like that. And unfortunately, it's so seeped into our culture and on so many levels.
mhm. Like I think about like so people are gonna come at me for this, I bet, because the F1 fandom. So one of my favorite um F1 drivers on the grid at the present moment is Lando Norris, and I love that he's so open with like his struggles with like mental health and things like that. And it's also the reason why sometimes people sort of like flame him a lot because he's just so open and so different. But I think that's great. I think it's so important to talk about things like mental health and how you're feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
couldn't agree more. I think there's a second part to this too, that I'm curious about. In the book writing space, why do you think that like wrestling has been passed over for sports romance? You know, we see all of these sports in different iterations, MLM, WLM, whatever, queer, straight, whatever it is, but we don't see a lot of wrestling, hence Johnna's freak out when we saw that this was being released. Do you have any inkling as to why?
I am not sure, but I suspect that it could be. It's crazy to say that it's too niche because you look at like the crowds at like AEW or like
Right.
let's go big into like WrestleMania. There's like millions of people, right? And it's always sold out. And yeah, I think it's just somehow still so niche in that even like, when I was going through the process of like figure out like trying to find a home for this book, a lot of people just didn't really not that they didn't vibe with it. It's I can't find a word for it at the moment. Like I'm a bad author who doesn't know words. But it's just
You know so many words. We
You
read
know
them
all
all.
the words.
I know you believe I can't believe I know like 95,000 words. That's sounds fake.
Amazing.
I had to look up a couple words too in here, which is something I also love. I'm like, ooh, okay, something for my
We're
vocabulary.
learning.
Oh,
Learning.
Thank you. Love. We love learning. But yeah, it was just hard. I think a lot of people just it's such a weird niche, I think. And I think maybe people sometimes struggle to understand terminology and things like that. I guess maybe that sort of influences their ability to engage with the book because we talk about like wrestling matches and how there are really specific terminologies. And oh my god, the number of people who have asked me like, what is gorilla position? Like, do they stand like gorillas? And I was like, okay. Like,
That is so
No.
funny. Because to me, as a wrestling fan, I read this and like a hockey fan reading a hockey romance that can picture all these plays and whatever. Like I can see these matches, like you say, Hurricane Rana, and I can see it in my head. I can like watch these matches unfold. They're incredibly well written, by the way. But it just like it brought me so much joy. But I to the point where I didn't even realize that could be limiting. But like I know nothing about hockey. I don't watch hockey and I like hockey romance. So maybe it is slightly too niche, but as you say in your book, like wrestling is just drag. It's drag and soap opera, and it's just so crazy to me that it's overlooked for any romance, but let alone queer romance, because it's right there.
you're literally grappling each other while being shirtless. And you're barely wearing
In
pants.
skivvies. Yeah.
Yeah. You're
Also
in your
bedazzled. Don't
underwear.
forget that.
Yeah.
We're stoned. We're stoned.
The fact, I'm like, do people not wrestle each other and like go home at night and like face a wall and be like, what are we? What was that?
This is what I'm saying.
Right. Right. And like there's people that take it so seriously, like whether it fan or wrestler, and it's crazy to me that they can't like take a step back and be like, "Oh, this is like objectively very gay." We are lubed up, we are wet, we are in rhinestones, and we are writhing.
Like, you are choking me out. That's intimate, my guy.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, let's talk inspiration. I'm gonna jump through a lot of hoops here. We'll start right at the top. Where did the idea for Grudge come from? And as a wrestling fan, I can assume that you were completely enthralled by the Golden Lovers in the way that we were.
Yeah. Of course. Of course, who isn't? Who isn't? And I'm like, I miss them. I could go down this rabbit hole again. I'm just trying to be a functional person. I can't go back into that.
I can't go back into that. Real. I can't go there.
It just got out, please. Free me. Okay, so I think it literally started with a text I sent to my best friend, and I was like, just casually, I was like, do you know? Because I think we were talking about like sports, romances, and just like sports and stuff. And I was like, did you know that wrestling has like dog collar matches? And she was like, this sounds fake. And I was like, no, they legitimately chain people up by the necks with a chain between them and they fight. Like, that's a thing that people do. And it's no homo.
Is it gay to be chained to your best friend?
Yes or no? Quickly.
No.
But like legit, me texting Jana, I was like, I had to look up a dog collar match and have a whole moment alone. Again, I'm on the newbie spectrum of things, and I was like, yeah, this is freaked out, my friend. Freaked out.
Oh yeah, them dragging each other around by a chain.
Did you see the latest, like the AEW one where like they literally got like walked like a dog? Like I think it was the match with Hangman, who I love, that like literally walked to the ring like a dog with a chain, and I'm like,
yeah.
Ridiculous. And again, in the straight way, right?
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
way.
in the totally straight way. In the straight cowboy way.
yeah. So sorry, I was thinking about the match, and now I can't be a person. Uh, but yeah, I think it grew really quickly from that text to my friend. I was just like, oh my God. And I was like, and they do this and they do this in the match. Like this happens and that happens. And like, I fortunately or unfortunately did build an entire book based off wanting to write a dog horror match. And
Incredible.
I think yeah, like the whole idea of the book came to me within like an hour. And I think it's probably just growing up watching wrestling and always thinking about how like inherently homoerotic it is. Like I think like it's a story that's lived in my brain for so long, and like finally getting to sort of like create a character around it. Like even things like Asher being like having his gimmick being like, you know, the dragon, because like dragons are so big in like Chinese culture, and Asher is Singaporean American, and also it just came so naturally as like little nods to wrestling, little nods to my culture, like Asian cultures and things like that. Like it's sort of just, I feel like it was just meant to be. Yeah.
Like it was so ingrained in you, you were like, oh, I can spit this story out. That's Incredible. That's what fandom does to us.
It makes us
It lets us
insane.
write 95,000 words.
Yeah. I literally, like, I mapped out. So normally I am more of like a pantser, but when I was thinking about this book, I think I literally formulated it via text to my friend over the course of like an hour or so. And I was like, bam, done. We're good.
Incredible.
So
That's amazing.
amazing.
So you obviously watch wrestling. What brand do you watch? Do you watch kind of everything? And like, who are some of your favorite wrestlers?
Okay. Oh, this is so great. I feel like I still don't really talk to a lot of wrestling fans like nowadays. So I am excited to have this conversation. I
Oh, I'm so
watched,
glad.
yeah, I'm so glad that I found you guys. Or that you found me, whatever. Either way. I'm so glad.
We'll take it.
We're all happy to be here.
I love I grew up starting with WWE because that's what
Mhm.
my grandma used to watch. Well, no, my grandma used to watch like a lot of local wrestling shows, and then she sort of started watching WWE with me when I was a child, and that was during like the Attitude Era. So
Mhm.
a lot of blood, which I could easily circle back to like being obsessed with blood and loving vampires now. Every everything is a circle.
It is.
Um,
Yes.
but so I started with the WWE, Attitude Era, lots of like steel chairs, ladders, very bloody. I loved Edge. Edge was my favorite wrestler. I don't know whether you guys watch WWE, but
Yeah. I switched products really
same,
quickly as soon as the option was available for me.
same,
But
same.
I mean, him being in AEW, he is such a star. Like that moment was so crazy because he looks
hmm
larger than life on the AEW stage. Like he gets out
hmm
there and he hits one of these and you're like, "Oh my god, it's him."
Like, oh my God, yes, like when Edge or like Adam Copeland now, like when he signed with AEW, I was like, thank God I can switch sides. Oh, we're good.
He was the one you were holding out for.
Yeah. But then like the CM Punk thing happened, like with CM Punk and Cody Rhodes going back to WWE. I was like, oh, okay, guess I'll tune in from time to time, but be bitter about it. But
Yeah.
yeah, so like Edge, CM Punk, all the girls, like Lita,
Mhm.
hot, so talented, so badass. And then pivoting to AEW, of course, we have Hangman, my beloved, Kenny Omega, of course.
So
Wait, I have
when
to go. Wait. Oh my God, I have to go back to WWE. My favorite, Seth. Oh my God, criminal, Seth Rollins.
Oh, yes. When Kenny and Hangman were having their title match in AEW, in the pay-per-view it was Full Gear, Minneapolis. I live in New York and I was like, I have to go. And I flew out there for 2 days. I sat 4 rows from the ring and watched that match in a bedazzled cowboy shit suede vest.
Could you please send me a picture of after this? Please let
Absolutely.
me see. Oh my
Just
And I
send
had
the
a
whole
big
thing.
I had a big cowboy hat shaped sign that said Hangman fucks on it. Like
Ridiculous.
I'm right there
I
with
love it.
you. Just a fangirl.
Oh my
Like
gosh. No, now I'm like racking my brain. I'm like, did I see that sign in the crowd? Like, did I see you?
it was me flying a cowboy hat shaped sign halfway across the country. Like, I hope it gets there okay.
Wait, did you like you couldn't bring it with you on the plane? Or like, how did you get that?
It was on the plane. I like rolled it up and I only had a carry-on bag and I made all my signs so they would fit rolled up in my carry-on and like packed around them fitting in there.
Oh my gosh, it's such a normal thing to do.
totally normal.
Very normal around here.
Oh my god. Yeah, I have just, like, the moment I set eyes on him, Kenny Omega has been for me through and through. He is my bisexual icon, whether it's kayfabe or not. I just think, like, the work he does for visibility, although it in general, like, wrestling is still not a queer friendly space in that way, but him deciding to do the Golden Lovers with Coda and, like, do all this stuff is just incredible for literally the plot. And, you know, he's the first guy out there. Him, honestly, and Punk, who I have a little beef with, but they are going to end up on the right side of history for pointing out signs for queer and trans fans and things like that. And it always just, it warms my heart to see them doing the work.
Yeah, I think like the both of them have been so vocal about it. And I think it's easy to like keep things status quo, right? But I think it takes so much courage in a way to like point out all these things, and like it's so easy for people to like cut away and everything, because so much of it is like you've seen people cut away things that they don't want the audience to see, but
For sure.
I'm like, yeah, they're doing good work. It's very important.
Yes, agreed. And there is a kid watching wrestling every week and seeing what we're seeing, which is an incredibly homoerotic sport with rhinestones. And they're seeing that representation from signs in the crowd and wrestlers acknowledging it. And it really matters.
Yeah. And I think that also, okay, I'm gonna go on like a tangent again. I feel
Do
like
it.
that is so much more important than how a lot of companies and wrestling included during Pride Month, and like this is talked about in only like a grudge. And like during Pride Month, you do things like you change your logos, you put out merch, and at the end of the day, the much money goes back to your boss. Like you do all these things, but you don't actually put your money where your mouth is. Like, why are you only doing things like changing your logos during Pride Month? Your allyship should be all year round, even when it's, and not just when it's convenient for you and, you know, like your wallets. And I think a lot of these wrestlers, like Punk and Kenny Omega, it feels like it comes from a more genuine place. And I think that when things come from like the heart with what you genuinely believe in, the audience can feel it as well, and they can know that like there genuinely is nothing wrong with who I am, because this person that I look up to says the same thing, as opposed to just putting out like a rainbow logo during June and not doing anything about it, and continuing to not have any healthy queer storylines. And I just think that if you are in a wrestling promotion that has all these insane gimmicks, you can have a queer person. You can have a queer storyline. It's not that outlandish. You have people coming back from the dead. You're good.
Right.
Yes. I actually, the story of, like, I can pinpoint the moment I fell in love with wrestling. And I was at an indie show with a friend that was before a concert. It was like this big weekend. They did a wrestling show and then a concert. And there was a man in the ring. I wish I remembered this wrestler's name, but he was a monkey from outer space and he had a tail. And I looked at my friend and I said, he can hit people with his tail. And he looked at me like in full kayfabe deadpan and he went, it's part of his body. Yes, he can hit people with it. That is the moment where I was like, I have to know everything there is to know about this sport.
That's incredible. That's an amazing gimmick, by the way.
It was a good gimmick. He was just like whipping someone with his tail. I'm like, he could do that? He's like, it's part of his body. I'm like, oh, silly me.
Apologies.
Yeah. I just like, you're 100% right. If I'm to believe that monkey's tail was part of his body, why can't we have a queer storyline in a wrestling company. And I do think like AEW is very much more willing to be outspoken about their wrestlers and let their wrestlers speak more. Like even, you know, Brody King coming out in shirts that say fuck ice and things like that. Like things that would never be allowed on WWE. And I've met Tony Khan. I ran into him in like a hotel lobby.
You ran into him.
Yeah, just bumped into him. So this story's actually crazy. It was the Dynamite taping directly after the Punk and Young Bucks fallout. So it was the craziest show to be at. And my sister and I drove 3 hours to the show, and we booked a hotel on Priceline, which you like hit a button and it picks a hotel for you. You're like, I will pay X amount of money for this. And they pick a hotel for you. And we end up in this hotel that we know nothing about. We didn't pick it ourselves. And we walk back from the show, and it is the hotel that the entire roster is in. So we're like, we'll just grab a drink after the thing. We walk in. Jade Cargill, MJF, Samoa Joe, Tony Khan, John Silver, like Chris Jericho, like the whole gang is just standing here having drinks. And my sister and I are like, what do we do? Like, we just sat there like normal people, well, like low-key hyperventilating because it was a absolutely bonkers. Like, I understand they're regular people and just like trying to have drinks, but if you ever walk by Jade Cargill, it is a humbling experience. I was like,
I could imagine. She's just like floating 2 inches above the ground.
Literally, she's hovering.
Just a jaw on the ground, like her arms.
Too much.
A feat of nature, you know? She is everything. So yes, I have just been in close proximity to all these weirdos one too many times that I feel like this intense sense of like loyalty to them. But I see, like, Tony was so kind to us. He's like, thank you so much for being here. It was at a really terrible time in the company's very brief history to be there after that show, after the press conference. I'm tired and I work with fucking children, like that moment. And he was so kind. And I just like, I think he's changing the wrestling business for the better.
Yeah, I think AEW has done such incredible work, and like obviously, like I'm not gonna be like they're perfect and things like that, but in terms of like the wrestlers that they have, like a lot of them feel so open about like who they are and like their beliefs, and like I just think it's such a breath of fresh air, right? Like,
Absolutely.
and I think that it's also good. We love an underdog, and it's crazy to call AEW like in a way like an underdog of sorts, but I think it's also just it's good to have like different like if you just have the WWE alone and no one's challenging that, and then things are just gonna continue status quo, and that's dangerous as well. Right? So I think AEW and your wrestlers are doing such important work. And I'm so jealous of you to have gone to their shows.
Have you ever been to an AEW event?
No, because I live across the world.
I hope it happens for you someday. I feel like I don't know. They're like trying to push more out there, but I feel like what they're doing is a little crazy. Like every place they go, I'm like, you picked there? like the Wembley shows, and they went to Australia, and I'm like, how are you like landing these venues? But I like wish the company the best, obviously, because that's my preferred. And I think switching back to WWE after spending so much time in AEW, you're like, this was the superior thing, like how it's filmed, how it's produced. Like you can tell that AEW wrestlers have more control over what they're doing because it feels like they're putting out a more authentic product.
Yeah, and it feels more creative in terms of like moves and gimmicks and things like that. It's so different as compared to like the WWE that a lot of it is very like rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. It's become rather predictable. And that's not to say that the wrestlers aren't talented. Like, of course they are, but a lot of wrestlers, even in like indie promotions, are amazing. So, yeah.
The next part of this question is like the nitty gritty stuff about like it's like for me behind the curtain stuff. So we can assume that GEW is not AEW. And we can all kind of assume who Kennedy Pritchard is. This just like, I was like, this is the evil billionaire. This is playing out live to people's lives.
I'm just gonna look very pointedly at you so I don't get sued.
Yes, we can.
Hell yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Who knows? Who did you draw? Is there anyone specific that you drew inspiration from for these characters? I see a lot of Sunny Kiss and Ava Kiss, obviously. I love Sunny. I loved watching Sunny on AEW. Is there anyone else that you're like, this was drawn from this, or is it a mashup of a couple wrestlers or anything like that?
Asher was possibly surprisingly, not drawn from any wrestlers. He was inspired by Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
Don't know if you guys like play Mortal Kombat or like if you've watched the movies, but huge Liu Kang energy. And also like meets War and Peace from Sky High, who I mentioned in the book just as like a little throwaway, little Easter egg. So yeah, surprisingly, Asher was not based off a specific existing wrestler. Caleb has a little bit of Kenny Omega energy, especially with like his moveset. I would sort of no, actually no. Asher does have a little bit of Finn Balor in him, a little bit of it. But yeah, Caleb was a mix of Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay.
Yeah. I have next to Caleb's name in my notes, he has Will Ospreay energy, but it doesn't feel completely right.
Clocked immediately.
Oh, that feels good.
Are you like, I was right?
You wrote this book for me.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's funny.
I feel so perceived right now.
Me too.
Oh my god, my face hurts. Would you have any other guesses for any other characters?
Oh, she does.
Is
Ooh.
Alexi roughly Hangman based?
Yeah.
That's my boy. I'm very curious about your polls for Theo and Bailey.
Thea is very I based her looks around Alexa Bliss.
Mm-hmm.
Alexa Bliss. Bailey was just from my head. Yeah,
Okay.
Bailey is just I just want another Asian girl. I feel like I would love to have more like female Asian wrestlers, so just from my little head. Yeah.
Love.
She
Okay.
does. She does share a name with an existing wrestler called Bailey. I know, but like, yeah.
Yeah, and kind of like her dark gear with the neon, I was like, maybe, but I don't know anything about how anything works. But I'm like, I don't think the pull could be that close. But also, this book, in my opinion, is just so creative. I was like, I don't think that they would pull a wrestler and like change up the spelling of their name and move on.
Yeah. Like I probably would have made it less obvious. Yeah. I'm trying to think whether there. I must be missing like a couple more, but not knowing my own characters. Guys, it's so early in the morning. My brain isn't working.
Oh, you're doing
Oh,
great.
you're good over there.
Did Ava Kiss have any other inspiration in them?
So Ava Kiss was very Sunny Kiss coded for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I also based them off. Hang on. It's more of just like an amalgamation of like drag queens that I love. So like
Yeah.
my favorite one of my favorite drag queens is Bob the drag queen. I love Bob.
That's
This
me,
is Leah's
baby.
moment.
That's you.
I have Bob's book right here. Bob is like my and we stoned these together. It's stoned.
Rhinestones.
It's that.
You
It's that
look so
important. But
good.
thank you. Yeah, no, Bob is my gal. Yeah, I love them.
Yeah. Well, wrestling is drag.
Wrestling is
Wrestling
drag,
is
and now I
drag.
see it. Like now I have my connection. I'm like, yeah, that's my queen.
Yeah. I remember when Sunny Kiss started wrestling on AEW and Jim Ross, God bless him, he just did not know what to do with Sunny because Jim Ross had never seen anyone like Sunny. And I looked at Sunny, I was like, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, ass for days, out there kicking ass, doesn't matter if it's a men's match or a women's match or what's being offered or a tag. Like, they are such a performer, and I truly think that at their heart, they are just a fangirl. Like,
Yeah.
everything I see them post about, they are so enthusiastic about. For Aaliyah, if you don't know this, for whatever reason, Sunny Kiss has befriended all the members of Limp Bizkit and, like, will follow them on tour and get on stage.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
It's just like,
They just
take it and
living
run
your
with
best
it, you know?
life. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I love that level of representation, and I love that they get to be out there and do that. That's just incredible.
Yeah, I think Sunny Kiss is so groundbreaking. Like even for me as like a viewer, I was like, I never thought that in my lifetime I would get to see someone like that, and I was like, holy shit, you're a badass.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's no one else like that on television that's that I can think of that is breaking every norm there is, which I just absolutely adore. And then there is one more inspirational piece that I pulled out of this, but again, this is me in like the fandom chokehold. I feel like Long Live by Taylor Swift is dripping in this book. Am I reading too far into this, or is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Okay.
That is.
The chapter
Well done.
transition from chapter 22 to 23, I had the time of my life with you, and then like remember this moment. I have the quote. Remember this moment, Asher tells himself as he walks down the ramp, take it all in, don't ever forget. I was like sitting at the Eras tour, like, long live, baby. Like, it felt so right in having that context for this, because like just the significance of that song in my mind, I just thought that that was such a sweet way to like lace this story together. It made me so happy.
I love that you caught it. I feel like not many people have caught it yet. I love Long Live. I love like some of it was like a coincidence of how like she literally sings about like fighting dragons, and I was like, yeah, it's such a ode, and I did go through the Eras tour with like dragon wings and everything that Asher has. So like,
Amazing.
yeah, I such a beautiful song. Thank you for catching
Are
it.
You're so welcome. Are there any other Taylor Swift references in this book? Because there was one, and I was like, I think that's a reach.
Which one?
There is a part in when they're at the trampoline park where there's a very specific, again, I have Swiftie psychosis, so if this is crazy, this like don't blame me. So there's a line where it might be like I'm begging to grab my hand, and it gave me very Willow, like I'm begging for you to take my hand, wreck my plans, that's my man, because it just felt like such a pivotal point in their relationship, and I was like, you might be reading way too far into this.
Will you be disappointed if I said no? That was
No,
just
it's
me being
okay.
insane. That was just me being insane.
No, it's totally fine. I read books all the time, and I'm like, is that a Taylor Swift reference?
I think
the fandom.
I do think there was another Taylor Swift reference in it. I think it was oof. Hold on. I think there was a reference to Death by a Thousand Cuts.
Yes. Yes, there is.
Mm.
That was one of my surprise songs. So that song sits in my heart. I heard that. I was like, maybe.
Aaliyah's like, oh my god, what's happening?
I'm used to this, you know. Here's the thing about John and I: if I'm not riding the wave with her, I'm standing here with my little coffee, smiling like like a stage mom. I'm like, "Yeah, honey, queen out,
Aaliyah
queen
lives
out
in the
about your
cup chair.
I do, but I love it, and I gotta say, not to get like mushy about it, but like that's the true meaning of fandomhood. Is even though it's not my thing, if I sat here with a Beyonce expert, Jonna would have to sit here and she'd have to sit here being like, yes, mama, live your dream.
Then
That's
I'd be in
your
the cup
diva.
chair doing this.
Exactly. I love it though. It brings me so much joy to see her queen out like this.
I love that. Yeah. But for sure, definitely a lot more Fall Out Boy references and a lot more Warped Tour references.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how into your reviews you read. I know a lot of authors avoid them, but I like glanced at a review, and it was like a 4-star review, but it was like there's so many pop culture references in that, and that spoke to my soul in such a way. I was like, I don't know if they meant this good or bad, but like that's what I'm looking for. I want to see these little Easter eggs in what I'm a part of. And again, that's community right there, right? Like
Exactly.
reading this book about wrestling, which is fandom and community, and being like, but Swiftie references too.
Yeah, I think I have seen like I think some people like it, some people don't like it as much because I mean I do agree some people say that it takes them out of the book, it dates the book, and that I think that's completely fair. I try not to look at too many reviews because it's your space, it's okay, you're allowed to say what you want. But yeah, I did write a lot of little Easter eggs in there because like based on the acknowledgements and things, this is very much like the love story to fandom and to like my friends. A lot of the Easter eggs in there are just like little nods to like my friends. So it's like they have to exist because even little conversations and like songs that are inserted into like little throwaway lines, all of them like I did tell like my friends like if you think it's about you, it probably is.
Mm-hmm.
And if you read this book and you feel like I don't know how else to make you feel as though like I love you so much than putting like Easter eggs to you in a book.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. And that is so special that you had the opportunity to do that too.
Right. Absolutely. A similar theme, this next question kind of fits nicely. So, there are many times in Grudge where you give a shout out to the underdogs, whether it's the wrestlers stuck in the performance center or female and queer wrestlers trying to fight to be taken more seriously than a bathroom break match. Why was this important to weave into the story?
Mostly because I grew up feeling like the underdog, and I think it is a feeling that comes so naturally, like even in even let's just say like in publishing, being a queer disabled person of color, you very much are an underdog in that like the odds are not stacked in your favor most of the time. If any, a lot of it is you having to believe in yourself and fighting, even though you might not see results, but knowing that down the line, what you're doing today could help future generations. And maybe you don't get to sort of like bask in that, but you can take a lot of solace in knowing that people who come after you will have a better life because you laid the groundwork the way so many people before us have done that. Like, I think a lot of them must have felt like underdogs, right? Very unseen, unheard, and like as though that feeling like there isn't a space for you in this world and learning to make your space and make your own family. So, yeah, just a lot of personal feelings on that, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And I think that that's a sphere that doesn't, I mean, like everyone knows, but it doesn't get brought up a lot. I remember, so my boyfriend has two children that I obviously also got into wrestling. And I took one of his kids to Full Gear one year, and she is a massive Jade Cargill fan. So it was a few years ago when she was still with AEW. And I remember like the look on her face when she realized that women's matches are bathroom breaks to a lot of fans because there is a lot of misogyny in wrestling. And she literally like looked over and was like, where is everyone going? Because that was the headline event for her. And she just could not like wrap her head around why everyone was getting up and leaving because this literal goddess woman was about to get in the ring. And that was like, as someone, you know, older in a like a parental mentor figure, it was like so disappointing to see that through her eyes because that is something that I had accepted and I knew it was wrong, but to see her be so affected by that, I was like, you know what? This does suck and we can all do better.
Oh, I hate that so much. Y'all are missing out if you go on bathroom breaks during like any women's matches. They're so fun, so feisty,
Mm-hmm.
so badass. They have such an incredible like arsenal of moves. Just hold your pee. You'll be fine. You're a big boy. You'll be fine.
100%.
You'll be
Right. You paid to
fine.
be here. Get your ass in a seat.
Mm-hmm. I
Okay.
feel so bad for her.
I know. It was one year we had Jade on top of our Christmas tree instead of an angel. Like, Jade reigns supreme over here. And it was just this moment, like, it felt like it was out of a movie. She was just like, and yeah, like, especially being in a massive arena like that, you're very aware of when everyone's leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And just like getting up and sending it. So yes, the women's arc in your book brought me much joy. That little like ending wrap up, I was like, yes, thank you. We touched on it briefly and you kind of structured the book around the dog collar match, which is again everything to me. At what point in writing did you decide that you were going to carry the dog collar into the bedroom, or was that in the initial thought?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I thought about it from the start.
Good. You had that
Yeah.
detail of someone getting walked on a chain right there, and I was like, this is a day one.
Yeah,
A real one.
I'm like, of course. It's what else are you gonna use it for? Hello?
Right. It's as homoerotic as we know it is. Might as well showcase it.
Like, I guess if I were to like put on like my smart brain for it, I'll be like, I do like how it sort of is meant to be something so violent in the ring, but can be something so intimate at the same time. I like the that color contains multitudes, guys.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
sure does.
We're like furious smut readers, and we read filth, so this hit biblically.
In a real way.
I must admit, I wish I made it was.
The next one.
Yeah, you can do like a remix scene and spice it up, build it out a little more.
We'll take a novella, whatever you want.
Yeah. You want an anniversary bedroom dog collar match? We'll read it. You let us know.
Okay, just it. I was like, my mom's gonna read this. I can't make it too bad.
Okay, fair.
Fair enough.
I love my mom. She's so supportive with like wanting to read my books, but I'm always just like, she is currently still in the midst of reading it. She was afraid to start because she was like, what if I don't like your book, or what if I DNF your book? And I was like, you should DNF my book because I can market that. Now make it funny. I'm like, please go ahead, no worries.
That makes a good story.
Right.
That's super sweet. There's something about like sharing the bookish space with your mom. I do too. My mom is a furious smut reader, worse than I am. She pulls shit out and I'm like, you're reading this? That's crazy. So if in some really nutso reality, I write a smut novel, my mom will probably be my editor, to be quite honest.
She'll be like, no, this should happen. And then he should have a knife and a mask on.
Yes, mom.
Shout
And
out,
there
mom.
should
We
be
love
5
you.
men. Whitney, we love you.
Okay, so I'm staring at the book I have been this whole time. We have to talk about this art. Oh my God. It is, John and I keep saying, it is some of the absolute best and most built out art, character art that we've seen. Obviously, we read a ton of romance, so you get the character art, but with the special pre-order, we got all the extra goodies too. The trading cards, all of these. We are deeply obsessed with this. Where did the trading card idea specifically come from?
Do you want like the insane and obsessive answer to this?
Absolutely,
Very
always.
Wait, no. I'm gonna give you the normal I'll give you the normal answer first, which is that like wrestling had like all these like trading cards that you could buy when I was a kid. So I just wanted it for like the nostalgia factor. And if you want like the real answer, it's that last year I got really obsessed with collecting F1 Topps cards. And I think I have like 700 cards. And then I woke up one day and wasn't obsessed anymore, so I don't really know what to do with all of that. Everything is just a fixation, guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We know.
resonated with that.
But I love trading cards. And with like the little like stats on the side and things like that, like the little stars. I love my artist. I think she did such an incredible job.
Oh.
She
Yes.
Ate it up. It's so good.
These men are so beautiful. Like, this cover
kidding?
is so gorgeous. I am like, I can't even articulate it. Like, this
No
character
notes.
art is so, we look at a lot of character art and we look at a lot of fan art. This is so above and beyond. It's gorgeous. Like, the fact that you have character art for 6 characters from your book is also so incredible. Like, it just feels
Yes.
so built out. We talk all the time about when we're reading what we're visualizing and how we like picture characters and things like that. And we look up a lot of character art because we want to see like what the interpretation is of them. And it really helps us like do world building in our head while reading. So having these beautiful trading cards is just scrumptious. It's so
Jazzed
good.
about it.
Yay! I'm so glad that you guys like it. I'm gonna email my artist after this and be like, "Hey, these two girlies were obsessed with it." I
Yes.
Obsessed.
I love how she the same artist did like the cover, the art print, the trading cards, and I do have like something else fun that's coming up soon that I can't share yet, but I think you guys will like it. I saw what
I
she
bet we
did for
will.
me. I audibly barked on the train, and I felt really bad about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we're waiting for it with
Yes.
bated breath. I do have to
Yes. I'm
say,
very excited to see that.
another thing I loved, your book plate be having this little holographic cunty moment. Shut up.
The
This
hollow.
very good. Very well done.
Yay! Oh my God, I'm so glad you guys like it.
We
It's
have to
giving
give you
like
your
K-pop.
flowers.
I got an arc of this and I read it in one sitting, like digitally, and then immediately like got on the, is it Always There?
Oh,
Always Here. I
Always-
immediately got on Always Here's website and pre-ordered it. Like, it was one swoop. I sat down, I read the book, I ordered the book. I texted her, I was like, my head is spinning. A book was written for me.
You're literally my target audience. I was hoping to find you
Yes.
with this one.
You did. And then I found you. I just like yell about your book to anyone that will listen because it's I Aaliyah started a book club that, and then she moved away, but I now run it and I'm like at book club telling everyone about it. I'm like, everyone go read this book, please. I hope everyone loves it as much as I do, and I'm doing my part to scream it from the rooftops.
Oh, thank you. That means so
You are
much
so
to
welcome.
me.
You are so very welcome. One last question, which is kind of like a big fat loaded question, just like the rest of them. What parts of this book are most personal to you and your life? And what did it take to get this project from your text message to your friend to the physical copy we have in our hands right now?
The most personal to me would be definitely Asher's chronic pain. I love getting to be able to sort of build so much of his experiences of mine. Um, Asher wears a knee brace because he tore like his ACL. So it's like when he walks around, like he needs his knee brace to sort of like keep like his ligaments in place and things like that. I think a lot of athletes struggle with chronic pain. Just like you can imagine, like the physicality of wrestling and the toll it takes on the human body. Like so many wrestlers have to retire young, like so very young, just because it's like it gets to the point where it's like if you wrestle another match, you could die. Like you could be paralyzed. You could. It's just so brutal on the body, and so I gave Asher a lot of my experiences with my chronic pain. Asher wears a knee brace. I also wear a knee brace. Asher wears a knee brace because he is hardworking, talented, beautiful. I wear a knee brace because I fell down after seeing like a really hot person. And I banged into a wall and I fell and I tore my ACL. Like I tore my entire left knee. So we are not the
That
same.
is an incredible tale.
You're like, we're the same, but understand.
It's such an embarrassing story to tell people, but I do nothing but overshare online. It's like people are like, how do you manage to completely tear your knee when you are already sitting on a wheelchair? They're like, you should not be able to do these things. And I'm like, you underestimate me. I am an embarrassing human being. I am a danger to myself. But okay, let me just look back in.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny.
But I am free. I am free and I'm swooning over hot people, okay?
Oh, it could have happened to any of us.
Let's be real.
Yeah, so Ash's experiences with like I would actually say like not just chronic pain, but like being very much a minority in trying to make it in an industry that is predominantly very white, very straight, very ableist in a way as well. So a lot of that came from just such a personal place, and it felt very cathartic and healing to be able to write a character like him and to show him like as much love, I think. Yeah. Yeah, so just like with how much he struggles with like his pain and how he sort of learns to make a life alongside it, together with it, rather than trying to push it away because like there is no way to push it away. It's just having to accept it and find workarounds and accommodations and knowing that there is nothing wrong with that and there's nothing wrong with other people seeing it. Like he starts off with not wanting to use like his knee brace and things like that. But like there's nothing wrong with it. And also with him just so much of like his disability also stems from pushing himself way too hard because he's like there's no way else that I can make it in this industry that is not built for people like me. And so I have to, in a way, like cut myself down to be what you want me to be and to be worth taking seriously. So just all of that. I really did love giving those experiences to Asher.
Yeah,
My favorite boy.
that was one of that was one of my favorite parts of this book, and like I resonated with that so like heavily. Asher's story of like feeling like you have to do double the work to be taken as seriously, and you have to hide the vulnerable parts of yourself, and you have to kind of put on this face. Like that is something I experienced being a Black woman, being living in America. The similarity, I was like that felt so good to see in a book. Know that like on the personal level, like having that outlet, we talk to other authors and we hear that, and it's such an amazing thing to have that outlet, but also like the way it touches readers is so visceral, and I like again another huge reason why I love Asher as a character, but also like this book as a whole because it is woven so beautifully and effortlessly, and it is true to the experience.
Yeah, like it's really humbling to be able to see that like my silly words have like impacted someone else. Like I like almost every day I think about this review that I saw where someone was like, oh, like Asher's bisexuality gave me like the courage to like come out to people around me, and I was like,
oh my gosh.
I literally like I think I sent it like my friend, and I was just like I can't. I was like, guys, like like I would cry if I talk about it. It's just like it's so very humbling.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's good that you're putting into the world, like you're helping other people through writing this chaotic little romance, which is incredible because there is so much deep meaning in this book.
Absolutely. Oh, thank you, Celine. Okay. So we have our next little piece is Read the Read. We've asked Celine to bring a review for Hold Me Like a Grudge. So take it away, our friend.
It says, what Sal has crafted from that beautiful first read is nothing short of tender, loving, sexy, and queer as fuck. Hold Me Like a Grudge will target your heart, but most importantly, it still has so much ass. I just think that's funny.
That is a goodie.
That's incredible.
A goodie.
It's
We always love pulling like the little bit silly reviews that still like see the heart of the story because people are funny.
yeah. Oh, a lot of these people are like funnier than I'll ever be, and like I'm just like I just pull like a little line because I'm like trying not to dip into like reader spaces too much, giving people their space. But like this one, like you're right, it does have so much ass.
You know what? You're right. Thank you for seeing me.
Thank you. They worked hard to have a dump truck ass. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, perfect.
Well, thank you so much for being here. This was everything. This fueled my little fandom heart. Thank you so much for writing this book. I am going to hand it over to you, and you can let people know where they can find you. And if there's anything else you'd like to highlight, please take this time to do so.
Oh my god. You can find me on Instagram. At Read with Sal. I am pretty active there. You get are very active there. Yeah, or you can find me on my website, Write with Sal. But yeah, predominantly Instagram, books there.
And
Yeah.
I'll tag it in the show notes too.
Thank you. I don't know how to promote myself.
No, it's okay. We're doing
Read
it.
this book. Read this book.
Read Hold Me Like a Grudge. It is
So
out
good.
now. You self-published this, correct?
Yes,
And it's
it is
beautiful.
available. It's available wherever books are
It feels
sold.
amazing. We'll do a little of this for you. We'll do the promotion.
Thank
Yes.
you.
And now, divas, thank you so much, Celine, and we will see you at the library.
See you at the library. Bye.